At 5:12 a.m. on April 18, 1906, San Francisco lay silent. The city was wrapped in darkness, its streets empty, its people sleeping peacefully in their homes. Gas lamps flickered faintly along the roads. Nothing in the air hinted that within moments, everything they knew would be destroyed. Deep beneath the surface, pressure that had been building for centuries along the San Andreas Fault finally reached its breaking point. Without warning, the earth screamed. A violent, grinding roar surged upward from underground, shaking the city awake. The sound was unlike anything survivors had ever heard before. Part thunder, part explosion, part something far more terrifying. It was the sound of the planet itself tearing apart. Then the ground began to move. The shaking was sudden and brutal. Buildings lurched violently from side to side. Floors rose and fell like waves on the ocean. People were thrown from their beds as walls collapsed around them. Entire structures folded inward, crushing everything inside. San Francisco was being ripped apart, second by second. Residents ran blindly through the darkness, many barefoot and bleeding, wearing nothing but nightclothes. Parents screamed for their children. Neighbors called out to one another through clouds of dust. Horses bolted in terror, dragging carts behind them. Church bells rang uncontrollably, their frantic toll echoing across the city. The earthquake lasted less than 1 minute, but in that single minute, San Francisco lost everything. The earthquake, later estimated at magnitude 7.9, ruptured the San Andreas Fault for nearly 300 miles. In some places, the ground shifted more than 20 feet. Roads split wide open, sidewalks rose and sank. Railway tracks twisted into impossible shapes, as if bent by hand. Entire hillsides slid. Fences were torn apart. Telephone poles snapped. The land itself no longer obeyed the rules of reality. Yet the most dangerous damage happened where no one could see it. Beneath the city streets, water mains shattered, severing San Francisco's entire water supply. Pipes burst open, flooding underground tunnels while leaving fire hydrants completely dry. The city had survived the shaking, but it would not survive what came next. Within minutes, the fires began. Broken gas lines ignited instantly. Flames burst from kitchens, factories, and collapsed buildings. Small fires appeared across the city, glowing orange in the darkness. Firefighters rushed to respond, believing they could control the situation. They reached for their hoses. Nothing came out. The hydrants were dead. With no water pressure, firefighters were powerless. They could only watch as flames spread freely, leaping from building to building, street to street. Strong winds fed the fires, pushing them deeper into the heart of the city. Soon, dozens of separate fires merged into one massive inferno. San Francisco was burning. For 3 days and 3 nights, the firestorm raged out of control. The sky turned black with thick smoke that blocked out the sun. Ash drifted through the air like snow, coating everything it touched. The heat was so intense that paint melted, glass shattered, and metal warped. Entire neighborhoods disappeared behind walls of flame. People fled again and again, thinking they had escaped only to see fire waiting ahead of them. Families carried children in their arms. Others dragged suitcases filled with their remaining possessions. Many ran with nothing at all, leaving their entire lives behind. Some escaped to the waterfront, watching helplessly as their city burned. Others crowded into parks and open spaces, believing the fire would stop there. But the flames kept coming. In desperation, city officials made a tragic choice. They ordered buildings to be dynamited, hoping to create fire breaks that would stop the flames. Soldiers and volunteers planted explosives throughout the city, but many of the explosions ignited new fires instead, spreading destruction even faster. The plan failed. The fires became unstoppable. By the time they finally burned themselves out, more than 80% of San Francisco had been destroyed. Over 28,000 buildings were reduced to rubble and ash. Entire districts vanished from the map. Businesses, theaters, hotels, banks, and homes were gone. The city no longer existed. More than 250,000 people, over half the population, were suddenly homeless. Survivors gathered wherever they could. Parks, beaches, and open fields became refugee camps. Golden Gate Park transformed into a tent city almost overnight. Lines for food and water stretched endlessly. People slept on the ground, wrapped in blankets, staring at the ruins of what had once been their lives. Many had lost family members. Many had lost everything. The U.S. Army was deployed to maintain order. Soldiers patrolled the streets with rifles. Martial law was unofficially enforced. Looting was punished harshly. Fear spread alongside hunger, exhaustion, and grief. Official government records claimed around 500 people had died. But this number was not true. Modern historians now estimate the real death toll was over 3,000 people. Many victims were never counted, burned beyond recognition or buried beneath collapsed buildings. Entire immigrant and working-class communities, especially Chinese residents, were deliberately underreported to protect San Francisco's image and economy. The city tried to hide the scale of its suffering, but the ruins told a different story. Yet even in the face of total devastation, something extraordinary happened. Humanity endured. Strangers helped strangers escape the flames. Doctors performed surgeries in open fields using limited supplies. Volunteers distributed food, water, and clothing. Neighbors became family. Acts of kindness appeared everywhere amid the destruction. Within weeks, planning for the future began. San Francisco faced a choice: disappear or rebuild. The city chose to rise. Stronger building codes were introduced. Engineers and scientists began seriously studying earthquakes and fault lines. Brick buildings were replaced with steel. Streets were redesigned. The disaster reshaped how cities around the world prepared for seismic events. What emerged from the ashes was a stronger, safer San Francisco. Today, the city stands vibrant and alive, its hills filled with culture, history, and innovation. But beneath its streets lies a silent reminder of what happened in 1906. The fault line is still there, still shifting, still waiting. The San Francisco earthquake of 1906 was not just a disaster. It was a warning, a reminder that no matter how advanced humanity becomes, nature always has the final word. History does not always announce itself with sirens or alarms. Sometimes, it arrives quietly, before dawn, and in less than a minute. Changes everything forever.